poison. You know you make me reckless. I'll run, but you are friction. Your touch feels like heaven. You make me hate all my sins. You are my religion, my religion. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you.
Running round like dollars in the wind, bending over backwards just to let you in. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. You were calling me a liar, 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 liar. Yeah, I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the
We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my ain't moving small. Money grows from my intuition. I just bought a crib, that's my first edition. People hate it when you claim a vision, but I use a static when I hit ignition. Hungry moves, I'm faster in a minute. I stay fresh to death, I'm in a mint condition. Forge a heat, no matter where I've been, and give me any place and it'll be a kitchen. This how we flow to the top. I'm on a wave and it never gon' stop. I hit a 3, now we running the clock. 24 seconds, I still block your shot. I'm making this an eternal spot. Permanent stain in the flow, ink blot. Don't step to me when I get too hot. I'ma end your life and it's all you got. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my ain't moving small. Homemade flow, I'm a PVC. There ain't one player out doing just like me. Heart rate froze, check the EKG. I hate wasting time, no eventually. Routine work when nobody see, but I ain't feel the stress, I know it's meant to be. 30 beats, I'm on a killing spree. I made every song in my discography. Yeah, that's every cent, every dollar. I ain't tryna listen to a broke scholar. Making moves to make the money taller. To the cash topping on the Eiffel Tower. Labels calling, I won't wear their collar. With my own drive, I can take it farther. Do it myself, don't ever bother. Been self-made now, shout out to my father. We on the top and we ain't gonna fall. It's an obsession, a habit you call. We hitting automatic, never stall. Only got one tactic, do it all. I'm from the bottom, I hate what I saw. I couldn't walk, so I learned how to crawl. They wanna talk when you're back to the wall. So I say later, my ain't moving small.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Take it too far to say that we cannot pretend now. Was it never enough to have just everything you want? In your shadow I found a place to hide me from my own thoughts. And if I ever got lost, you find a way to bring me home. And
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the UTD NECC Best of 3 against Fisher. And I am Anosmia, and I'm going to be casting here with Rory, and we're about to get into the champ select of the first game.
So we got an Evelyn fan, as well as Lilia and Aphelios for Fisher, and Yumi, Renekton, and Vex.
Yeah, we were talking about it a little early before the game started about Evelyn specifically. It's not really a champ that like anyone plays. You have to be kind of an Evelyn player, and I have never seen anyone on UTD play Evelyn, so I'm not sure exactly what's that about. I'm not sure if she's super strong right now.
Looks like the hover here for Fisher is going to be Hecarim, going to be locked in. This is like one of the premier picks in the meta right now.
Yep.
Indra left really interesting. This character is.
That's true. Syndra, really strong. They pick Sylas. That's something that Russell Grindset really likes a lot. Really likes playing Sylas, so I'm sure he's confident on it. And Hecarim's not a bad ult for Sylas, but this early is kind of still a bit weird because you can pick stuff with low-value ults. Fisher, I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up the Syndra, but it looks like they're just going to go Victor.
Yeah, the mid laner for Fisher really like playing a lot of it, and so not.
Also, a Sejuani, just a good champion. It could be flex top, but I really am not sure. Last time I did see Yoshiwi was able to play the Sejuani. It didn't go great, but it's still an option since he's apparently more comfortable on it now.
Yeah, it is a good early pick. Essentially a 3 flex pick. Varus picked up by Fisher. This was one of the really big picks at Worlds Finals last weekend.
Yeah, just really strong laning and poke. And AD is very much an option for him, but AP is also Kaisa, another really good AD carry, especially the on-hit build with Bork and Wits End. I've been seeing a lot of clips, and it seems really strong if you can get going on it.
I said one of those fan favorite picks that everybody plays, although he does have a losing lane into Varus, so hopefully UTD picks up something that will be able to keep that safe on this space.
Yep, and they did ban out Yuumi, so that's not an option for them with that enchanter. Same with Renata, another enchanter that's pretty good at keeping their AD carry alive with the bailout especially.
Yeah, banning the Renata out here is really smart. It's a really good term with that bailout. Gives them a boost of attack speed as well as the chance to revive if he does get
And Tom Kench banned from UTD. I'm not really sure if the support is a Tom Kench player, but it makes sense if they are, but also kind of weird since their comp would like to be picking Tom Kench, especially with like a Hecarim diving and like a Varus ult that can kill your entire team if it gets, if it lands a good one.
Sure seems to have two support players in the roster from like seen off their OPGs, and one of them definitely does like that. So that ban makes sense. Ornn coming in here, always a solid pick. Really hasn't been nerfed. It's been a staple all year long. It will really complement that selling. So we'll probably be looking at UTD trying to go late game.
Yeah, now we know where the Sejuani's going. It's probably definitely going jungle. Really doubt it'd be going support here. But since the Ornn locked in top, everything except the support locked in for UTD. And it looks like they're going to go Lulu for Fisher. Lulu's really strong. Okay. Braum, it's like one of those traditional counters to Ornn because you can just eat the R1 before it gets to Ornn. So really strong in that regard.
Yeah, it is an interesting pick of Braum here, as Varus is really going to want to win this lane early, and Braum, although he can get aggressive and get that stun down, is not the most aggressive pick here, so might have gone out here for UTD's their support.
And I really like the Fiora into the Ornn. It's like really hard for Ornn to play this matchup if the Fiora can parry the right spells. And she can look to even 1v2 around level 6. So really strong pick into Ornn. And he's not really going to be able to get the items that he wants to if Fiora is able to successfully bully him, take his tower, keep him off minions. Really strong pick.
Then we see the Rakan down to finish out the draft for UTD. It is a really nice pick here. For the Rakan, they are pretty low on engage, but the one is going to have that nice RW combo at the start of a fight in a splash whenever they need it.
Yeah, and that's a lot of pick potential. They have two pretty squishy carries in the Victor and the Varus. Sejuani and Rakan can just jump on them and insta-blow them up with Kaisa. It's Kaisa and Sylas. So they have this really strong dive, where Fisher also has a pretty strong dive with Hecarim and Braum. But I just favor the Kaisa here, because Varus really struggles in being able to move forwards, or Kaisa has the ultimate to just jump in and one-shot someone.
Yeah, I think UTD also anti-engage here, as Fisher is really going to be wanting has Sejuani, she has that ultimate CC on that character. Ornn has the ultimate for disengage, and Rakan's very easy for him to engage, but also very easy to disengage.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see who can really pull off this engage or disengage combo better than the other team, because that's what's really going to come down to who can kill the carries first, because Fisher does have a lot of damage in the Hecarim and the Fiora with their top jungle, while the Sejuani Ornn is lacking a lot. But Sylas and Kaisa are very potent carries, especially with their dive potential, so it's really going to come down to who's going to be able to get the carries first.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more of an aggressive early game here for Fisher, as if the game goes late, they will very likely be outscaled once those ornaments start coming in. So hopefully Yoshibi in the top lane can mitigate the losses against this Fiora, and they can transition smoothly into late game.
All right. We're going to go to a little break while we get the spec delay going. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes.
My body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. I wanna taste your content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption, breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Just wanna be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
We are back in game. We have Fisher Atteboro on blue side, and UT Dallas on red side.
So yeah, one thing quick to note, we have seen Yujung Hukuri Lee here in the past couple of weeks playing support. This game opting in to play the Sejuani and let Bibarel in the support into the support role.
Minions have spawned.
All right, so if we look at these two team comps, it's really just for Fisher, they're going to be playing on top, right? They have a Fiora and they have a Hecarim. They're going to want to be getting this Fiora ahead against Ornn, while for UTD we have like a pretty aggressive lane in Kai'Sa Rakan. So I imagine that UTD is going to be playing around bot side while Fisher's going to be playing around top. So we're going to have to really see how these junglers cross map.
Yeah, I would expect UT Dallas to opt to put Yoshiwi on an island here. Ornn is like a really good self-sustaining pick, and he should be able to play this lane passively. Even though Fiora is going to be beating him down, he should be able to survive on his own, and then that will allow Yujung Hukuri Lee to go to either mid or bot lane. Both of those lanes would be really good for them to get ahead.
Yeah, and interestingly, the Hecarim isn't actually pathing towards the Fiora. I guess Fisher also agrees that bot lane is where it's at this game. They both want to just be camping bot, making sure their bot gets ahead, and which makes sense. They have a really aggressive matchup. They're playing against the aggressive matchup, which is Kai'Sa Rakan, very potent in the 2v2 with just the amount of damage and the amount of engage they have.
Yeah, and it might be a little bit of definitely affecting how both teams want to play. I don't imagine as Fisher that you would want to let Deathly get a big lead in this game, because you will most likely completely take it over on Kai'Sa. This champion is so good when she is ahead. She's able to completely snowball and use that ultimate to dive the backline and completely.
And here it is, the engage onto the Varus, and the Braum shield goes up, and nothing really happens. A little bit of damage onto the Varus, a little bit of damage onto the Rakan. Small trades, and looks like we're actually going to get a gank mid here. Stun coming down on for Victor. Not going to be able to get the stun from the Sejuani, and looks like they're just going to walk out.
Yeah, so we are seeing a bit of early aggression by UTD, both in the mid and bot lane. A little bit against what we expected.
Double engage for the Rakan. They're not really going to get a lot of poke damage because the Kai'Sa is just going to get blocked by the minions. Now the jungler is here, not also going to be able to get anything, just not enough speed yet. But it looks like the Yujung Hukuri Lee is also here if they do want to re-engage. We're going to see if Hecarim does just back out, and he does get back despite Bibarel trying to cancel it, and he's just going to go in for this for the Braum. Sejuani is here. Are they going to try to dive? He misses the Sejuani dash and barely survives, even though all the marks get procced on him.
Yeah, not able to get that last bit of damage there. UTD did spot out the recall from Hecarim with that ward, and they took the go-ahead to go in, but crucially, Yujung Hukuri Lee misses the engage onto either bot lane target, missing it again just now, and they're just going to push in the wave and probably opt to reset.
Yeah, they took a lot of damage from just trading with the Varus there. Not really going to want to look to keep that going whenever they are so low health.
So we're taking a look at this top lane here. As expected, Fiora pushing in.
Another gank in the mid lane, but this time for Fisher, Grussel is just going to dash out and nothing's really going to happen. Lots of ganks, but nothing really happening so far.
Yeah, there is good play on both sides avoiding these ganks. You see in the river, UT Dallas has key wards around, or one of those is Scuttle, one is a ward around the river, and they're just able to easily spot out the gank from the Hecarim, and not a lot happening from any of these ganks.
And pretty early roam by both the supports walking up to mid. Bibarel just helping Grussel Grindset push out that mid wave, hopefully so he can get a reset soon. But it looks like he's just going to get shoved back by the Victor. There might be a fight here as Babero looks for an engage onto this Varus. He's going to miss it. Varus steps forwards and takes a little bit of poke from Kaisa, but ultimately not anything going to happen there.
Yeah, very nice sidestep coming out from Invitrix. He could really easily have gotten blown up there as Admiral Potato was slower coming into the bot lane.
They're going to just keep on going for little trades. Sejuani is hovering around mid, potentially looking for something, as they look like they're going to go for it. Stun lands from the Sylas. Going to get a bit more damage. Chaos Storm coming in from the Sylas. Engage also in the bot lane. Rakan going to get stunned up, and First Blooded just getting insta-blown up by that Varus. They're going to both flash. All the flashes in bot lane gone, and it looks like Victor was also able to survive in the mid lane despite nearly getting dove.
Yeah, UT Dallas is able to barely escape disaster here, as although they do, B-Barrel does get caught out, definitely is able to narrowly avoid that, and being the more important one in the duo makes it out alive.
Yep. Ultimate coming down from the Fjord, going to proc all 4 vitals, lots of damage on Yoshiwi, but is he going to be able to just clean it up? Not entirely. Going to back out. I believe he could have gotten the kill, but he probably would have gone 1-for-1 with that. No flash on the Fiora. That's probably why the kill wasn't actually able to be done. There looks like they're going to try to engage onto this Braum flanking, and looks like Hecarim is going to be able to kill Kaisa. Sejuani with a double kill. And Hecarim also with a double kill. He looks like he's also going to be able to pick up the Rakan, just dashing over the wall and able to get into safety. Hecarim's not going to be able to dive this tower alone. And 2 for 2 with the junglers getting all the kills on both sides.
Yeah, very crazy fight down here in the bot lane. But it looks like Hecarim's looking mid again.
Yep, is Hecarim having a lot of presence right now. Going to take a turret shot and a little bit of damage from Sylas, but again, nothing really going to happen. Goes about half health, shoves Victor get in the way, helps Victor shove in the wave most importantly, so Victor will be able to reset.
Yeah, both teams playing really scrappy here. It looks like neither of them wants to fall behind too far. We see Fisher with a 1.5k gold lead here, and that is exactly what you want to see if you're a Fisher fan. This comp will very likely not be able to keep up in this game if they aren't able to maintain this lead.
And Sylas here has the stolen Hecarim ult, so it looks like Babero and Grussel Grindset were really looking to try to get a pick there with that stolen ultimate because it's really strong engage. And also has a pretty decent AP scaling, so Victor with the Lost Chapter is going to pack a punch with it.
Good barrel here, trading a little bit with the Braum. W is right over the wall, and back to safety. We see Fisher's bot lane here is really starting to put up the pressure. This Varus pick with the ultimate on deck, ready to catch out either member of UTD bot lane if they overextend too much without the other.
Yep. I'm actually quite a fan of this Ornn build so far. The anti-heal just to reduce the amount of potency that the Fiora traits have, and Ornn's Mail is just a really cost-effective item in lane. Going to reduce a lot of damage coming from this Fiora. And he might honestly be able to win some of these 1v1s if the Fiora doesn't respect his damage.
Yeah, something that Fisher is going to have to look out for in terms of Yoshiwi's build is the Bramble Vest actually only gives passive healing reduction, whereas the Oblivion Orb or the Executioner will allow you to directly target whoever you want to heal cut. The Thorn Mail will only heal cut people who attack you, so Fisher wants to be able to avoid hitting the Ornn.
Big stun onto the Varus, going to get just cleansed away, and going to get Rakan going to get chain stunned using a stopwatch, but it's going to be ultimately for naught. He's just going to die here. Kill goes over to the Hecarim. That's probably not what you want. You want it on that Varus, and he is going to pick up the second kill onto Sejuani after he gets stunned up by the Braum. Really bad engage or trades coming in for UTD. Pretty good for Fisher. They had a really nice stun onto the Rakan, able to chain CC him. He was only level 5, not able to continue his own chain CC. and he just gets one-shot by the Varus.
Yeah, really not what you want to see here if you are a UT Dallas fan. Fisher has really been able to put up the pressure on this bot lane.
A pretty good double engage, but again, he's only level 5. He is not going to have that ultimate for the extended CC, and he's really going to take a lot of damage. Kaisa just going to ult right into herself. Barrel actually able to clean it up with the ultimate now that he has, and definitely able to get that other kill. So not bad for them, able to recover this lane.
Yeah, very nice re-engage there from Bibarrel. It looked like maybe they weren't exactly on the same page. Definitely jumping the gun a little bit by himself, but Bibarrel is able to quickly snap back into the fight with that W, get that crucial knock-up to keep Deathly alive for the last seconds of that trade.
Yeah, looks like there is going to be a little bit of a Rift Herald skirmish. They are just going to go straight onto the Hecarim. He is going to take a lot of damage and go down to Sylas. The Chaos Storm doing a lot of work for Sylas, and Fiora just barely not able to pick up that Sejuani and proc the last Vital. That would have been very crucial in surviving. Now, Barrel's even here. Both supports are here, and Ornn is just face tanking everyone, and they are just going to walk out. Victor is now here, or not, Varus is now here for Fisher, but all for naught as the Rift Herald's already killed. Looks like it was actually picked up by Fisher, so not bad for them getting the Rift Herald, but they still did lose the Fiora. And it went to Ornn, I believe, so that's really nice for him in lane. He's going to actually be able to put up a fight against this Fiora now.
Yeah, very crucial there for UTD. They just completely chain CC'd Devil de Grey there. He was 3-0 prior to that fight on the Divine Sunderer already, and they were able to completely chain CC him, lock him down, finish him before he can move again, and that's really what allowed them to finish that fight ahead.
Yeah, and I really like how he is going to that Divine Sunderer. Tank Hecarim is not as good as AD Hecarim now with the recent changes. So I was a bit scared whenever he had the double Ruby Crystal, but it looks like he will get that Divine Sunderer, and he is going to have a lot more power than if he went Turbo Chem Tank.
Yeah, one thing to note, even though... Oh, see a little bit of engage here.
Fiora's not going to proc that tower. Yoshiwi going to have to flash out because the Rift Herald is going to kill it, and he is just going to slowly die to the Victor, Chaos Storm, and the lasers. Now, Grussel Grindset has the stolen Hecarim ult, and he is going to be able to do a pretty good fight, but Hecarim has his own ult to just run right out.
Yeah, that Rift Herald in the bot lane really allowing Fisher to make this easy dive with that extra body under the turret. Yoshiwi just being a little too far ahead without vision. Even though you are under your tower, not too much safety if Fisher brings 3 down.
Yeah, it's like the meme, like the play safe, right? And then you just get dived by 4 people in a Rift Herald. Not really anything Yoshiwi can do there, but it looks like the Fiora is going to die here eventually. Sejuani is just going to be able to catch her. Flash actually coming down, and Fiora is going to take some more Divine Sunderer procs and almost live. Wow, that was getting really close.
Yeah, those heals coming out from Fiora. I thought
she didn't even have the Sunder yet.
Yeah, I thought for a second
probably
there.
Could have won that if she did. Wow.
Yeah, she almost got out of that with those heals, but Sejuani is this really annoying pick. She will stick to you so hard and keep applying those stuns over and over again. A bit of the same thing we see coming out from Yoshiwi, coming from I Am Isaac here. Just both of them playing a little too far forward without the proper vision to justify it. Without the vision, they don't know what's coming and what's going to hit them, and they both just get hit with numbers.
Yeah. Way too far forward. Fiora getting killed like in the top side of UT Dallas' jungle. And it looks like they're going to have a fight here. Big engage from the Rakan. Ornn going to be able to do a lot of damage to this Hecarim. He is going to re-engage back onto the, I believe that was Sylas, and barely, and just kill him there. Fiora is going to be able to proc all 4 vitals and take a lot of damage with that healing. And they're just going to have, UTD is just going to have to run, not able to do enough damage with all the heals. And the Victor Laser is actually able to get him. Definitely barely surviving. Oh, he gets the ult and is able to pick up that kill onto the Fiora. That was really nice to pick up that kill, but in the end is going to be a win for Fisher as they come out with 2 more kills, or 1 more kill.
Yeah, a little too cocky there from Deathly. I think it is good to get that trade or get that kill back, but he just extends a little too far forward, trades a little too long, considering how many people that Fisher still had up.
Yeah, they did not respect their Fisher's ability to just kill the tower and keep going. That was pretty abrupt or very instant of a start to that fight. They just kind of all were in mid and then all started hitting each other. And now Victor is 4-0. He's really strong. He has a 500 gold shutdown, item and a half, working towards that Shadow Flame, I assume.
Yeah,
and
you see that 2,000 gold gap between the mid laners there. Really gonna want to see, if you're a Fisher fan, this Victor take over the game. I saw that he picked up this Liandry's. I think that is absolutely the correct choice here. You have a really beefy team from UT Dallas with the Orange, Sejuani, even the Silas with the healing. And this Liandry's is just going to chip away at their health.
Yeah, and he is going to pick up that Shadow Flame next. Just good damage second item. Now, I really like the Orin first item. Well, not really sure if it's a good first item since he's not really going to be able to apply it onto everyone, but Frozen Heart's going to be really good this game, especially into a Fiora, Varus on hit. Going to have a lot of value, but he's just going to get killed by the Victor, who doesn't care about armor at all.
Yeah, and I think you see a little bit of the build being Yoshiwi's downfall there.
Yeah, absolutely no armor, just going to get insta-killed by the Victor. Going to be a lot of trades going up in the top lane. Braum Art is going to hit two of them. Fiora is going to have a lot of value here. Not able to proc that Grand Challenge. Now, 4 people here. We are just missing the top laner and the AD carry, but Varus is actually flanking UTD. They're just waiting out Varus's ability, and UTD is just going to run. They see that they are a man down. They have to run. And no casualties going down.
Yeah, I assume the comps here for UTD are just, we are the scaling comp. We are a person down. No reason to fight for this second Herald. Although a couple patches back that gold from Herald did get buffed, it's really not going to be worth the fight.
And looks like they're wanting to re-engage even. The Ornn is back and Silas is back here with the Braum ultimate. Going to get a really nice engage onto the 2 there, and they're just going to have to run now. What looked like a pretty bad situation with such low health bars, they're actually able to get 2 kills because the Fisher does not respect their re-engage with Silas with the Braum and Ornn. Really nice to get 2 kills there.
Yeah, really gutsy play from UTD there. I totally, at the beginning of that, did not think that that was the smart play. I think the smart play was back off, reset, and wait to scale. But they are able to squeeze out 2 kills there, and those kills are really going to help them stay in this game. UT Dallas is fighting to not get too far behind so that they have time to get the key item components on their carries and start taking over the game in the later stages.
Yeah, they are already 5k gold down. Looks like it is mostly jungle and mid where that gold disparity is. It makes sense. The Victor is really strong, and this Hecarim was getting a lot of really high value ganks and a lot of kills early. But now the Hecarim and the Sejuani kind of evening out. Sejuani does not need as much gold as Hecarim to be useful. It's just the nature of being a tank. But the Victor is definitely a big problem. Now he's going to have a stopwatch, going to have a lot of survivability in these team fights. They're going to have a really hard time killing him.
Yeah, and with those item components coming in, we really want to see Fisher start putting up the pressure. You are 5k gold up. It's a substantial amount, with each player across the board having a good lead over their counterpart. If they're able to keep up this lead and keep expanding it, they can close out the game in the coming moments here.
It looks like UTD is going to look for an engage onto this Hecarim. 4v2 here. Definitely going to just ultimate in. Everyone's jumping in. The Silas, the Rakan, the Kaisa. This is the engage power that we were talking about in the champ select, with their ability to just jump on someone and just absolutely demolish them. So much breach and gap close with all the ultimates.
Yeah, for sure. With the initial engage from the Rakan, Grussel Grindset is able to steal away that ultimate and follow up and make it a really quick and hard to follow engage.
And Fiora is just going to absolutely beat up this Ornn. Not really much for her to do, but now the tides are turning as the Sejuani's here. She is going to be able to parry that, but Sylas is also here. Too much CC for the Fiora, and she's just going to go down.
Yeah, not much for her to do indeed. These champions have so much CC. As a Fiora player, you have to be so annoyed there. You have the W to block one instance of CC, and then you just can't play the game anymore.
Yeah, you saw her just waiting for that Ornn ult, and when it finally came down and she stunned the Sejuani, well, she was already dead at that point. But we were seeing him just getting, or Yoshiwi just getting stomped by that Fiora, just so much max health damage, but it doesn't matter since he had the backup, which was really good for UTD to get that kill.
Both teams gathering around the mid lane here. Hextech Drake is up. Fisher is going to be the stronger team. They're going to be able to set up and get the better positioning around this dragon, and they're looking to stack these up and even further their lead beyond the gold to include this nice ability haste and attack speed buff from the Hextech Drake.
And from that top lane engage, Ornn doesn't have his ult, so they're not going to have their main source of all-in. And as I say that, Rakan jumps into 4 of them, charming up all 4 and only being able to knock up 1. Victor going to live at 1 HP, going to go down to the Ornn right as he goes down. Fiora going to be able to survive just barely in the 1v4, not able to get all the damage, but their health bars are so low for UTD now. Kai'Sa just barely going to survive, and they just all barely walk out. It's really close. Fiora's actually going to go down to this, go down to the Sejuani. This fight is so close. Sylas now TPing back in. We can only assume Ornn's going to TP back in 10 seconds as they're going to go onto the Sejuani. She is going to get the stun up, just barely not get the stun up. Able to now stun up, but not enough time as Hecarim just walks out, going to get tagged up by the Kai'Sa. The Kai'Sa ult is not there to get that kill. Ornn now is going to flash E into the Braum, going to get the one knockup and just get stunned by the Victor, who just teleported in. Hecarim on the other side is teleporting across the Hextech warp gate. So many health bars just barely not dying.
Yeah, these teams do not want to stop fighting. It might be a little bit of a grudge here from Fisher, as UT Dallas does have a history of stomping them in the past, and they might be trying to change the narrative here.
Those fights were so close. Everyone were just super low. Everyone just barely not dying. But in the end, UTD was able to get the upper hand. However, Fisher is going to be able to get this Hextech Drake, which is a little win in its own.
Yeah, after all that fighting, they are able to go back and pick it up, but we do see UT Dallas positioning around the Baron. Not going to start it up, but going to get wards around and set up the area in order to have the threat of going for that when it is in complete darkness for Fisher.
Yep, Kai'Sa and Rakan were actually able to pick up Fiora in that little bit of time, and looks like they're just going to reset.
Yep, and Fisher trying to get a bit of vision. I saw one of the Scryer's blooms get dropped into the Baron pit. Looks like they weren't entirely sure if UT Dallas was starting up that Baron or not, but it did get cleared away, and it is still darkness in the Baron pit for Fisher.
Yep, and a little bit of a sad story. This Fiora's had this cull for as long as I can remember in this game, and she has still not completed it. Ornn, on the other hand, a bit less CS, but it is Ornn into Fiora. Now she is going to go for another trade onto this Ornn, but Kai'Sa's here. Parry already used. Ornn going to go down, and Kai'Sa will not get the kill. Ornn Q just going to be able to clean it up. Really nice from UTD to be able to get that kill, but it looks like Fisher is going to start at the Baron, going to engage onto this Sejuani, and the stolen Ferris ult going to be able to protect him a little bit, but too many players for Sejuani to deal with, and they're going to go down.
Yeah, a little bit of an overcommittal from UT Dallas in the bot lane. Fisher sees that 2 of them have been committed to the bot lane. Teleport not up for Ornn, and they push the go button with that Hecarim and easily take down Yujungle Lee.
Yeah, and even though this Fiora is 0-7, she is drawing a lot of attention from UTD, still having a lot of value in this game, and still able to probably fight a lot of UTD themselves, despite being pretty far down.
Yeah, taking a look at the gold here, we actually see UT Dallas has gotten to a bit of a lead for a couple players. Key one being Deathly here. We talked a lot about this guy as being our star player for UT Dallas, and it is very good for UT Dallas that he is ahead of this Varus.
Yeah, this Kaisa is being a real nuisance for Fisher, just jumping in, getting a lot of damage in. Going to get that third item now on hit Kaisa. It's what we talked about earlier. Really strong build, able to delete players if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting build here to go for Kraken Slayer and the Blade of the Rune King, as Fisher's team comp is not too tanky, and Devil the Grey here is opting for a more damage-heavy build. This Kaisa build would normally be a tank-busting build. Interesting that he does opt for that build over something like a Gale Force that would give him a bit more mobility and something that would be better for killing squishier targets.
Yeah. I've seen this build quite a bit, actually. It just does a lot of damage, despite being tanky or not. So I assume that's why he's opting into it. And it looks like Fisher's going to start up this Baron, going to get a few thousand health off of it, and two really strong engage ultimates for UT Dallas, with the Silas picking up the Hecarim ult. They're going to have to just run. The threat of Ornn into Hecarim is too strong for Fisher. And mid tower is going to fall down. Kaisa is also here. They're going on to the Braum. Ornn ult now, Hecarim ult. They're going to be able to pick up the first kill. Second kill, definitely jumping into that backline, killing that Varus. Now he's just going to 1v1 that Hecarim. Going to take him down, and UTD just going to walk out with everyone surviving.
Yeah, and here we see what we've been talking about all game. I think it looks like UT Dallas has reached that point where they are stronger than Fisher. It is going to be really tough now for Fisher to win this game, now that Deathly has hit 3 items, and you just see him completely destroy Devil the Grey as he tries to dive him.
Yep, you just hit that go button with the Hecarim ulted Silas, the Ornn, the Kaisa. You just jump in, instantly destroy their carry. Varus wasn't even able to use Cleanse. He got killed so fast. It was just really strong engage from UTD there.
Yeah, and we saw throughout most of this game UTD trying to stay scrappy in all of these fights and struggle to keep up with Fisher here. And now we see the fruit of their labors as they finally get that big team fight win. They get that Baron, and it is looking like quite the mountain to climb for Fisher here.
They turn that gold lead, even if it is just a little. This Kaisa, super strong, 3.5 items, going to get that Wit's End next. And this Varus is not going to have the protection he needs to survive the amount of engage.
Yeah, one thing that we haven't noted on is this build here for Varus. It is going to be the 3-item 60% crit Infinity Edge build, the minimum you need to unlock that passive from the Infinity Edge, and not opting for either an on-hit build or the poke build that we sometimes see from Varus.
Yep, another engage here from the Rakan. The shield able to just block a ton of damage from the Braum. Really nice from him, just not going down. That was a lot of damage mitigated. And he's just going to walk out. But they're going to be able to use this Baron buff to push in this tier 2. Lots of gold for them. 600 shared between these 3 players. And they're even going to be able to get mid. Silas alone. Just going to poke it out. And this Varus just not really doing much damage to the... Silas. He has his own 3 items. Sonya's Hourglass. Still pretty good armor. And they're just stronger.
Yeah.
More items. They're just going to stat stick them, I think.
UTD here with the Baron, just playing the lanes. You saw the Silas earlier playing by himself in the mid lane while the rest of the teams pushed pressure down in bot. Really trying to further the lead for UT Dallas as the screen for us goes dark. Not quite sure what happened here. Hopefully we can get the game back up to you soon.
Sorry about that. Little technical difficulties. We are back. And the game is still going.
Yeah, looks like not too much has happened since we went dark. Luckily, it was on a reset for UT Dallas. Just at the end of their Baron, they want to use their empowered recalls before that ends so they can get back a little bit quicker and get on the map faster.
Yep, they're really just going to try to keep pushing down the... keep choking Fisher out of this game. Looks like they're going to try to go for the kill onto that Hecarim. Yoshiwi just going to teleport out. Fiora does not have enough damage to kill him in 4 seconds. What a sad thing to watch as the 0-8 Fiora just sitting there hitting vitals.
Well, now we see the positives of his build, as we saw him get just absolutely blasted by the Victor earlier. This Fiora does absolutely nothing, even with the true damage against the Ornn. He says, I do not care what you have to say to me, and teleports right out.
Yeah, just no worries, just stands there, takes it like a champ, and they're just going to reset, come back out, and now Sejuani's going to have a little fun with the Fiora, going to get stunned. Kai'Sa not going to be able to land the CC, but she's just going to pick him up with the amount of CC from the Rakan. Big fight coming out here. Ornn going to get a lot of knockup. Kai'Sa just free hitting everyone. So much damage coming out from her, and just jumping in for the final kill. Sylas going to be able to 1v1. I believe it was the... Actually, I'm not sure he was 1v1ing up there, but he did get a double kill. And clean 5-0 for UTD.
Yeah, teleport going to come out here from Grussel Grindset. UTD is going to end the game here. 20 to 30 second death timers here for Fisher. Maybe they get a chance, maybe they don't.
Yeah, it does not look they're just going to tank the tower shots. So much health with the Sejuani. They're just going to walk in, hit all their turrets, and that's going to be the game.
Yeah, and we see in game 1...
Oh, they're going to go for a little KD. Going to kill them all before the Nexus falls. Nice stat padding.
UTD
and
strikes first in game 1.
That was... It looked pretty close in the beginning there. Fisher actually had that gold lead for a little bit. They were proactive on the map. The Hecarim was getting a lot of kills, but slowly Kai'Sa and the goons of just diving into the backline, as we said earlier, just going to jump in, kill their carries over and over again. They really ran out of options.
Yeah, we saw definitely really limit testing in the beginning of the game, seeing how much he could fight back even in the darkest of situations. And eventually he's able to scale up and keep playing that way in more of a positive sense and just completely mow down Fisher here for the last 5 to 10 minutes of the game.
I really don't imagine we get to see his Kai'Sa again. He just really took over with that all the damage from the on hit, just being able to move around the team fight freely. He just free hit like those last 2 fights. There was no one at all going to be able to kill him. The Hecarim was just dead before he could charge. The Victor, not enough range to poke out the amount of engage that Ornn and Sylas and Rakan have.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the AD carry picks develop throughout the rest of the series. As you said, the Kai'Sa pick probably not going back to Deathly here, but maybe we see Fisher, if they're still on blue side, try to take it away. Maybe we see them ban it. What happens to the Varus pick? Does Deathly opt into that one? And if the Kai'Sa does get banned, we will be seeing another AD carry here, and curious to see who that will be.
Yeah. All right, we're going to have a little break until we get to the next champ slip. Should only be a few minutes, and we'll catch y'all then.
lights go out. Don't be a means to someone's end. It's all just beginning. Why can't we extend an invitation to every end? All hands can clap, all hearts are beating equally. The pulse of the air we're breathing. If we can be one more day, then we can live in all this. So
And we are back in Champ Select. And this is the second game of the UTD versus Fisher NECC matches. UTD is up 1-0. We are just getting into game 2 Champ Select.
And right off the bat, just what we were talking about moments ago in the last game, Fisher completely changes their game plan. They are going to try to put Deathly on the lowest priority pick that they can. They banned 3 AD carries and first pick 1 more. It's going to be interesting to see what we get out of Deathly here.
Yeah, just target banning him, first picking their own AD carry, really trying to give him like they left a Varus, their own pick, maybe a Jinx, a Varus, you might see one of those. Grussel opting back into the Sylas. He had a really good game one on it, and here it is, the Varus.
Yeah, really interesting that they would pick the Varus and then go to banning 3 AD carries, and one of those would not be Varus, or like pick him.
Yeah, but Caitlyn still a decent pick after the on this patch. Hasn't really been touched. She's still gonna have a lot of damage, and this is another pick we didn't really talk about, but Syndra, really high priority pick. She has a lot of damage after her mini rework, her whole new passive. With the splinters and the getting 2 Qs, getting more true damage, getting an execute. Lots of really positive changes for her. Going to be able to compete really well with the Sylas.
Yeah, I think we did touch briefly on this pick. After the buffs a couple of patches ago, it has become one of the highest priority picks in the meta. It's just such a strong pick. It was really interesting to see last game that just completely, the Syndra pick was completely left out of the draft as a whole, not banned or picked.
All right, we're going to get a Karma for Fisher, defending their Caitlyn, and another Sejuani. Really similar draft for UTD, it looks like. The Sejuani, the Sylas. The Kaisa was a pretty important part of this whole dive comp, so we're going to have to see how it works without that AD carry who can just jump into the back line.
Yeah, I would expect UTD to go for a more stand your ground comp and pick some champions that can disengage more and look towards getting to the objectives first, setting them up, and having the opponent come to you. This Varus pick not having too much mobility, but can really be a menace if Fisher tries to get on top of him and is not able to finish him off right away.
Yep, we're going to see both the top laners from last game get banned out, Fiora and Ornn. And I imagine this might be a Nasus angle for UTD. Yoshiwi is quite the Nasus enjoyer, and it looks like not a bad angle if they want to do play to protect this Varus.
Yeah, definitely could be seeing that pick. I definitely expect the support pick as they're hovering through a couple picks here. And then save the counter pick for Yoshiwi, see if that Nasus is still applicable once we see that matchup, and go from there.
Yeah. Hovering a lot of enchanters here. They're even hovering Seraphine in R3, Soraka. I think they hovered a Lulu. And it is going to be the Soraka. Lots of healing. This champion is super annoying. Just a menace, really.
Yeah, really strong lane here out of UTD. Actually playing a game myself earlier today as I ran it down on Cassante, but my buddy in the bot lane absolutely taking over the game on Varus with Soraka support as well. This lane's really strong early game. They are going to try and contest Caitlyn and Karma here and see if they can win that lane against another really strong early game bot lane for Fisher.
All right, this is quite interesting. They're opting for either a Trundle or a Graves top. And Trundle's a pretty good counter into Nasus, just generally. So it looks like they're going to be dissuaded from that. Hecarim is being hovered, so they're probably going to move the Sejuani to the top. That flex potential is really coming out here.
Yeah, I think this is a really smart draft actually coming out for Fisher here. They pick Trundle and Graves, who can both play top and jungle. And so what they're able to do is flex their top and jungle pick where UTD doesn't have their top lane pick yet. They can see where that Sejuani goes and move the Trundle who counters the Sejuani to wherever the Sejuani does go. And now with the Gnar pick, we know that it is going to be Sejuani jungle, and we will likely see that Trundle go jungle as well, and Graves match up into the Gnar.
Yep, that would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go Trundle top anyways and stick it, since their jungler may be more practiced on Graves than their top laner. either way, both drafts, I really like the Syndra. Syndra is super strong. Caitlyn is still pretty good too, and Trundle I feel like is always a sleeper pick. So it's really kind of up in the air.
Yeah, both teams not really opting for much engage. I would say that the UTD team does have more than Fisher, so they might get a little more leniency in how they play the game there. But both teams are probably going to look to get prio in the lanes and go to the objectives, set up there first, as both of their comps function more from standing their ground and having the other team try and come to them.
Yeah. Gnar is a pretty good pick for team fighting, as just super strong, super strong damage in Mega Gnar. Sejuani, really good for team fighting. We saw him last time. And they have a lot of comfort picks. Their mid laner, or Russell Grindset, really comfortable on Sylas. Hukri, really comfortable on Sejuani.
Yeah, I think the lane that we really want to look at here for the early game at least is the bot lane for both teams. We touched a little bit on earlier about how strong these two bot lanes are early game, and either the Varus or the Caitlyn will most likely be able to take over the game if they're able to get that early lead, and the other one will probably fade into irrelevancy without getting some early gold.
Yeah, it's really like feast or famine, especially with Caitlyn and Varus. If Caitlyn gets behind, her mid game is pretty abysmal. You just don't do any damage, and you can't really transition into that late game power of like the 4-item Caitlyn. And Varus, I feel like he does have the ability to come back, but again, you really like to get ahead, especially with a Soraka, where she can just sort of take over the game by just keeping everyone alive.
Yeah, I think the takeaway here is they have very similar functioning comps, but UTD has a bit more leniency in terms of engage and scaling power. So it might be a little bit more difficult for Fisher if they don't get ahead, whereas if UTD doesn't get ahead, they have a little bit more options.
Yeah, definitely a lot of stat stacking with the Trundle, with the I can't exactly remember who the Fisher mid laner was.
That was the Syndra pick.
Syndra really strong, actually. I've played a few games against her. I've seen a lot of clips of her. A lot of damage, especially if she goes even, she has a lot of damage still. The execute on her ult is really handy for killing really anyone. Just finish them off if it wasn't already going to kill them. 2 Q charges, a lot of damage there. The Syndra is very much a point of contention for Fisher, as she is probably an S tier mid laner right now.
Yeah, and then one other thing that is going to be a key point here is we still don't exactly know which character will be going top lane and jungle for the side of Fisher, whether that be the Graves or the Trundle in the top lane and their counterpart in the jungle. It will very much change the course of the game and these matchups depending on which champion goes where.
Yeah. All right. We're going to throw it to a break as we get through Spectaling, and we'll see you guys in about 4 minutes. Welcome back to game 2. Looks like we are going to have the Graves jungle and the Trundle top.
Yeah, it looks like I was a bit wrong there. I did think that they would want to get that Trundle counter pick to go wherever the Sejuani does, but opting for the Graves jungle, that might be a champ pool thing. I Am Isaac might not have a Graves or be as comfortable on it as Devil the Grey is, or they might just favor the matchups. That Trundle pick being a lot slower than how the Graves is going to be able to clear.
Yeah, I really think, honestly, Trundle beats Gnar anyways. Gnar is pretty squishy in mini Gnar, and post 6, Trundle's just going to have the ult to suck away all the resistances.
Yeah, we'll probably see the Gnar take the early advantage in the lane, but that might be quickly turned around once he does hit level 6 on the Trundle and is able to ult during Mega Gnar and get a huge buff in stats while diminishing those of the Gnar.
Alright, and looks like we're going to have opposite side starts for the junglers this game. Not going to be both pathing towards bot, but Kukuri Lee probably going to path towards bot again. Path towards your carry. Makes sense.
Interesting to see Devil the Grey start bot. Looks like he does jump over the dragon wall. He's gonna start to invade into UT Dallas's jungle, and he's going to split the map, probably being really good for Fisher here because this bot lane is going to be such a volatile lane, and he will cut off Yujong Kukuri Lee from coming to the bot lane as he will soon not have anything to take.
Yeah, I really like this pathing by Graves. It's a really aggressive one that can really punish a slower clearing jungler like Sejuani. And he is just going to show himself bot, and now Kukuri should definitely know that his jungle is gone, or at least his blue buff is gone, as he does start pathing towards Graves' blue side.
Yeah, a little bit hasty from Devil the Grey here. He does show himself into the bot lane when he's not able to get much done in terms of a gank, and that does allow Yujong Kukuri Lee to go straight towards his blue buff, and he paths there himself. Let's see if he is able to steal that away.
Yep, it looks like the buff was in fact stolen by Graves. Unfortunate for the Sejuani, as she's going to be rather far behind now, but at least her entire blue side's not gone. Avero going to take a lot of damage here, going to get ignited and not going to get killed. Meanwhile, Deftly with the lethal tempo, going to be able to pick up the kill onto the Karma. Very nice from them.
Oh my goodness.
All sums burned except for Varus' flash though. So they're going to be very susceptible to ganks.
So sad from the Caitlyn here. You saw him flash E forward, and he E's backwards to try and get the net to hit Bibarel, and the E gets taken up by the minion, and he goes right back away and is not able to finish up that kill, and quickly gets chased down by Deftly.
Yeah. Really well played from Bibarel to not die there. The minion kind of get down Mr. President saved him a little. So we take those wins. I'm not supposed to have bias. But very nice for UTD.
Yeah, the minions honestly have a mind of their own. I do frequently get mad at my own minions for doing the wrong thing, or the enemy minions. They seem to always do the opposite of what I want them to do.
Yep, and as we said at the beginning of the game, Gnar is just going to be able to bully the Trundle out of lane. Already a minor CS lead. We're going to see if this expands by the time level 6 gets around. So if the Trundle can actually fight back post 6 and make this lane more interesting, because right now it's just waiting for minions.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of a flame horizon starting for the jungle. We did see that Devil the Grey was able to go from his red buff to UT Dallas's blue buff, and then straight to his blue and steal it away from Hukuri, and he just continues that lead, able to just completely snowball and clear really quickly with this Graves pick.
Yeah, already 2 camps up, and off the reset with the serrated Dirk. Going to be ready to clear some more of his camps and keep that CS lead. Bot lane going as we sort of expected to. Soraka really can be quite the lane bully. Actually, pretty nice from Grussel to hit the E despite being pushed back, but he might just go down to the Graves. He is going to try to play around the minions. Graves cannot auto through the minions. Going to flash away, and Devil the Grave flashes forwards and picks up the kill.
Oh my goodness, you hate to see that from Grussel Grindset. You have to flash early there. He really wanted to get greedy and save that flash, and at the end decides that he can't get out just by walking and flashes right at the end and is still picked off by the side of Fisher, and he does not keep the flash or his life.
4-man bot now. Definitely going to have to flash out here. Still going to go down. The Soraka kind of sacrificed herself, but it doesn't matter. The Syndra going to be able to pick up the kill with the R. Yeah, really unfortunate. The kill in mid allowed the Syndra to move towards bot and get that 4-man flank gank off. Really nice from them. And now they're going to pick up the dragon. So this one kill onto Grussel Grindset is going to open up another kill and a dragon.
Yeah, and a little bit of the same story of last game, perhaps even more favored towards Fisher. They seem to have the better early game in this series as Yujung, Hukuri Lee, and Isaac, I think, trade a little bit in the jungle.
Yep, they're just going to get the dragon, Fisher, and everyone's just going to be going back to lane off a reset. Really far ahead in the mid lane now for Syndra. 2 kills to the 0 deaths, or to the 1 death of Silas. Going to be up about 700 gold. Going to get her item probably off the next back, while Silas will still be stuck on components. That should probably result in the Silas not being able to get the mid prio. So we'll see how as Radar can move towards other lanes and help them, because he's really going to need to help this bot lane if they want to stay in it.
Yeah, and so we see with the individual golds here that Devil the Grey and Radar on those Syndra and Graves are the ones with the gold for Fisher, and UT Dallas bot lane are the ones ahead for them.
Another gank in the bot lane. The barrel going to go down to the Graves. Really nice kills. Syndra now actually here. She's going to get the ult onto Caitlyn. Not able to finish off the kill. Varus doesn't have the arrow just yet. Lots of damage. He just needs 1 arrow, but he's going to go down to Karma. They were so low. He just barely didn't have that cooldown yet. Unable to get those kills.
Yeah, and it's a bit of the same story for Deathly here as well. He just keeps trying to fight when he's down numbers. I think there, maybe had he played that a bit better, he would have been able to pick up some of those kills. Maybe even all of them without dying, but just not able to finish them off and ends up dying, and not what you want to see if you're a UT Dallas fan, as you really want to see Deathly continue that lead rather than get picked off and send the gold back towards Fisher.
Yeah, and really nice solo kill from the Syndra too. She picked up the Dark Seal off of there before she actually went bot, so she has a lot of stacks. All the kills and assists she's gotten have been stacks for Dark Seals. I believe the Syndra is going to be really strong going into this mid game.
Yeah, and maybe we even see a Magi's out of Syndra here. She does have 7 stacks. If she is able to keep this lead without dying, it might be worth it to drop, I think, around 1k more gold into that Dark Seal to upgrade it to a Magi's and get a lot of AP for himself.
Yep, I imagine if she gets that 10 stack, she definitely will. 4-man Duff is going to go down onto the Trundle. He is going to have ult, but he's just going to get CC'd before he can do it. Silence going to be really devastating. He's not going to be able to get it off. And oh, he looks like he actually was able to, but it was not enough to get the kill onto Sejuani. Meanwhile, they're going to trade that for the Rift Herald and a few plates in mid. Looks like they might even be able to take this turret completely.
Yeah, very nice play from both sides here. You see Yujung Hukuri Lee with the creative pathing.
Nice Gnar to get the kill there. He looks like he might even be able to get double if Caitlyn does not get away. Flashes away, going to chase flash with Gnar. He just needs one more rock, and he is going to get the kill. Graves not going to be able to do anything. The ult not doing enough damage.
Yeah, really big for Yoshiwi there. He is able to transform into the Mega Gnar with that double hop, and he Gnars them right back into his turret and picks up the 2 kills in the 1v2.
Dead Soraka. Insta-killed. No chance through the stun.
That is the strength of the Syndra pick. That is why we were talking about how it was a bit confusing to see no presence from this pick in the first game. She just completely one-shots and even furthers that lead.
Yeah. 4-0, 9-stack Dark Seal. Already has the Ludens. This Syndra is going to be a monster. 5,000 gold compared to Silas's 3.4. It is almost a 2,000 gold lead in the mid lane. That is super bad for UTD.
Yeah, that is a disgusting lead for 11 minutes into the game. We see that Dark Seal stacking more and more. Maybe
Armor
perhaps
going
being
to get
that.
caught. No ult available for her. Going to get stunned down twice by the Soraka. Going to flash over the wall, but Silas is just going to chase flash. Going to pick it up with the Q. Now he has the Karma ult. We'll see what form he decides to choose. Looks like he's just going to go for the Q. And Sejuani is just going to go for the dive. Silenced by Soraka and just dead. Another very nice dive. Hukuri barely surviving once again on the Sejuani, but they're using their jungle to really push that bot lane lead.
Yeah, we see a style out of UTD here that is similar of some of the older rosters that we see in 100 Thieves in the LCS, where they will just send everyone bot lane and dive over and over with well-executed dives, get their bot lane, which are their favorite carries, the lead, and completely shut down the bot lane of the opposing team.
Yep. Nice vision plant to shut down their sneaky play in the mid lane. They were assumingly looking for the Silas and the Gnar. Not going to have that anymore now that they got spotted. They're just going to run down this Varus. Nice pillar. Going to have to flash the Syndra stun or die, really. Soraka barely surviving, but she's going to get the Qs off. Going to survive, sustain up. Varus, lots of damage with the Qs. Gnar not able to turn into Mega Gnar at the right time. He is just going to walk around, transform, and unfortunately not get a good team fight off that. Health bars are much lower on the UTD side, actually, so we might even see a re-engage from Fisher, as only their Trundle got hurt, and he has teleport.
Yeah, we see UTD all half health across the board. Soraka ult does come out.
Nice stun from the Sejuani to block it out. Gnar barely going to live, not at the execute range yet, but Caitlyn just going to not die yet because Varus decided to shoot an arrow to the Syndra, actually killing her. That was really nice from the Syndra. Silas going to go down to the Graves Q, and 3 for 3 in the end.
Yeah, so it is a very interesting fight there. UTD starting the fight with about half health across the board, although they do have the Soraka to heal them up. It goes about even through that fight. Nobody able to pick up the dragon, although it is Cloud Drake, so that may be why neither of them opted to put so much emphasis on it. Although we do see Fisher, after the reset, start to walk back and posture towards this dragon again.
Looks like they're just going to get it for free. As we have the gold up, there's a disgusting amount of gold difference between the AD carries. Almost a full item. Varus was able to get 2 big shutdowns on the the Caitlyn wasn't the shutdown, but they had a nice shutdown onto the Syndra. That's going to reset our Dark Seal too. Really big kill there.
Yeah, soon here we may see definitely double the gold here from the Caitlyn. It is exactly what you want to see as a UT Dallas fan. Definitely is this key player, and you want him to absolutely take over the game. Picking up a little while ago this shield bow, going for a different build than the Fisher's AD carry did in the last game.
Right, Soraka going to get caught out here by the Trundle pillar. Trundle actually going to go down here. Syndra barely able to get the kill. He's going to use the ult onto the Varus, and eventually going to get him down with the Qs. Really bad for UTD. They're going to go down 2-0, and Silas looks to try to kill the Caitlyn, but she has her entire team walking back, not going to be able to chase. Really nice pillar from the Trundle, and they're just going to get the 2 kills for free.
Yeah, we see that UT Dallas here is going to try and put some pressure across the map as they expect Fisher to take the Rift Herald here. Fisher only commits Devil the Grey there so that they are able to match the other lanes where UT Dallas is putting pressure with their other members, as Rift Herald not being that difficult of an objective to take down by yourself.
Yeah, and we saw that Syndra power a lot there. She just insta-killed the Varus through the shield bow, and it's really where the power is. She killed Soraka almost for 100-0. It was really quite a show of power, and she now has a fully stacked Darksteel again, so this is what you want if you're the Syndra.
Yeah, we see that Hextech alternator for the Syndra, maybe not going to opt towards the Medjais, maybe thinking it's a little bit too greedy. We see the Shadow Flame come through. That's going to be so much damage coming out from the Syndra. You have to be scared as Deathly. You have to position so well in these fights so that you don't get hit with that ultimate and you don't get executed. You really need to be the one doing the damage there.
Yep, they're going to dive this Graves, and he's just going to go down. All the CC really missed, but it doesn't end up mattering. Syndra just going to kill this Soraka again.
Yeah, this Syndra is taking over the game here. Just absolutely deletes with maybe like one ability.
A flash W from the Karma, going to get the root off. Syndra going to hit that, hit the stun onto Deathly. Going to actually go down to the Silas. That was a really nice combo to get her barely unable to kill the Sejuani. And Karma's just going to walk away.
Yeah, but we do see the teleport come in from Gressel Grindset, and he is able to take down that Syndra off the back of that play. That's really big for Gressel Grindset, as we see him start to close the gap with the shutdown onto Radar.
Yeah, still quite a gap to go, but a little bit less is a little bit less. And that's the Darksteel going back down to 5 stacks, a lot less AP for them to deal with. She is still going to be quite the monster. You saw how much damage she can do to even the shield bow Varus. He's opting for the Wit's End now, which is probably the best choice, as it's going to maybe allow him to survive the combo.
Yeah, it is one of those items that is very strong in on-hit builds already, even if you aren't needing that magic resist. So it's a great pickup here from Deathly, as it is able to kind of give him multiple advantages at the same time. Another item pickup that I really like is the Putrefier that came out from Potato here on this Karma. It is the best heal cut item, and you are the support who doesn't really need the gold, and you have a lot of AoE, so you're able to apply a lot to the enemy team and prevent some of this Soraka healing.
Yeah, really big, and Soraka got the Moonstone Rush, so she is going to be healing a lot as long as she doesn't get insta-killed by the Syndra. And that's really their, the dynamic of these two comps. Syndra is looking to one-shot someone. Soraka is very one-shottable if she gets done. So they gotta, Soraka has to make sure she's positioning herself well around this Syndra, and UTD needs to make sure they are targeting the Syndra first, as she doesn't have a Zhonya's Edge. She is quite susceptible to the chain CC of Sejuani and Gnar.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of the protect Mr. President style from both teams, as the Syndra and the Varus are such great carries for both teams.
And so much damage coming through on Varus. He got ulted by the Syndra, ulted by the Trundle, ulted by the Graves, and he eventually does fall to all of it despite the Soraka trying to heal him with the Wish. Now Gnar able to get a nice double engage, and Gressel Grindset going to try to get the kill back onto Trundle, but just barely able to not get it, and also barely able to not die.
UTD here trying to scramble away on these low health bars before they get picked off. Very important here that they are able to stop that Rift Herald and stop the push from coming in from Fisher. As we see Fisher start to posture around this Baron and start it up while UTD is on the reset. Probably not going to be a contest from them. And we will see Soul Point come in here for Fisher, which could be the game depending on whether or not they are able to get that last dragon and pick up the soul.
Yeah, really big pickup for Fisher. Soul Point, Infernal Soul, going to give them a lot more damage, going to give Syndra even more power to one-shot. It's going to be quite the scary game for Deathly to play if there's a Syndra with Infernal Soul.
It is indeed. The shield bow is going to give him a bit of tankiness as we see
Karma just gets completely caught out and one shot. The supports are just dying on repeat. And there looks like they're going to go for the Trundle. Nice double pop from the Gnar into the Gnar ult onto Trundle. Big pickup. They might even be able to go for this Baron off of the 2 kills. Well, we're going to see. Yeah, it looks like they're pinging the Baron. Fisher has to. They really have to try to stop this. They have Syndra. They have her 2.5 items. She has the potential to kill someone. And Caitlyn looking to posture. Syndra not going to really take any damage here. The Wish comes out. Silas going to look for the Graves. They're not going to find anything. And Fisher successfully defend the Baron. Stun actually comes in from Sejuani onto Syndra, and she is going to go down. The health bars are so low on UTD, though, and they're not going to be able to finish off the Baron, but they cut that Syndra. Really nice kill.
Yeah, and Radar throws the ultimate onto the one character that will not die from it. So maybe a bit of a mistake out of him, but they are able to get UTD off the Baron, which is very important. As that Baron could really start to create more of a gap in the gold for UT Dallas.
Yeah, and we saw the weakness of Syndra in this game. Until she gets that stopwatch, she can just get ulted by the Sejuani and blown up. Gnar not going to be able to stop the Graves here, just going to pick up the farm. Fisher off the resets. Hopefully they're going to be able to look for a good fight with the 10,000 gold Syndra. Coming off bases. She is going to have, I think, her 3rd item now. Really scary Void Staff. Going to help her one-shot the Varus through the Wit's End. And they're going to get caught. Syndra is not here just yet. But, oh wait, no, she is not actually here just yet. But they're still going to be able to pick up Varus with the Graves and Trundle damage. Really nice. Silas was not able to trade back onto the Caitlyn, and just going to be 2 for 0.
Yeah, and we're going to see Fisher start up this Baron. As we said, Deathly is the very important carry here. Having him taken down is going to unlock the Baron for them. Even though Yujong Kuri Lee does have the smite coming up soon, he might be able to steal it away.
Yep, they just can't really get close to this Syndra at all. Syndra and Karma are just going to zone away everyone from UTD really effectively. And they're just going to, well, the Gnar is going to go down and they're just going to get it.
Yeah, really nice play out of Fisher there. They are able to simultaneously take down that Baron really quickly while still playing the zone control and not allowing anyone from UT Dallas to get in close or even think to start something there.
Yep, and this Graves is really putting up a lot of damage. His 3 items with the Cleaver and Gourd Drinker going to be the really tanky and sustain build from Graves. We are going to go to a looks like a misclick, and they're going to look to posture to try to stop this Infernal Soul that's happening in 1 minute. That's what UTD really needs to focus on here.
Yeah, and we see Fisher feels like they are in a good position here. They have the Baron. They are trying to push that lead while they have it.
Going to get aggressive. Syndra going to get stunned, but the damage onto Soraka is there. Graves going to take a lot of damage from, it looks like, the Varus, but Sejuani is about to go down. Gnar is teleporting to all of them. Rage bar almost full, but he might just get one shot as he teleports in, yet absolutely destroyed by the Syndra. There's not really much they can do there, and they're just going to get the soul.
Yeah, and we're going to see Fisher go back to this Dragon Pit with the Baron online. They are going to clear out the vision of UT Dallas while establishing their own, and it looks like it is going to be an easy soul pickup for them, as UTD is still going to be late out on the map with Yoshiwi being up in 12 seconds still.
Yeah. And no teleport on him. They're really not going to be able to contest this. It's getting really scary for them. They have so much damage with this Infernal Soul now. Graves and Syndra, very high damage carries.
Yeah, and you have to think it is going to be a really difficult base hold for UT Dallas here in the coming moments, as this Syndra is most likely just going to stomp any team fight that she's in. She is so strong. She has the Infernal Soul and the Baron buff, and pretty much has all the cards in her hand.
Yeah. She even has a stopwatch to ensure her survivability against Sejuani ultimates and engages. I don't think there's a way that they can really get to this Syndra, and since she has all the damage, it's not going to look good for UTD here.
Yeah, we might see a desperate play to try and attempt to get that Syndra in the back line.
Graves is going to get stunned up. Gnar ult not there, but Syndra not going to get caught out by the Sejuani ult. A lot of damage coming in, but not enough to get any kills here. Varus is just stuck hitting this Trundle and not able to get enough damage onto him. They're just going to go down. There's no damage for UTD, and Syndra has all of it. All of the damage.
Yeah, we see Syndra just completely take over this game. She wipes the floor with UTD, and Fisher Atteboro is going to clean up the Nexus and strike back in Game 2 and send us to a Game 3.
Yep. Just as we saw the Kai'Sa get insta-banned out from Fisher, I assume we don't get to see the Syndra played again unless UTD is picking it, or whoever blue side is. I assume it's going to get banned on red side. That was a really strong showing from the Syndra.
Yeah, and you have to think that in Game 1, the Syndra pick was kind of missing from the draft. Maybe one team could have been able to pick it up and change the course of things with such a strong pick, but I do agree. I don't think we're going to see it again. I think Game 3, we don't see Kai'Sa, we don't see Syndra, and we look to what pick is going to be the one that takes over the game next.
Yeah. And we've been seeing the Sylas blinded twice now, and it always seemed to lose in the beginning, and this time it wasn't actually able to come back like it was in Game 1. So I'm wondering if we're going to have UTD blinding Sylas again.
Yeah, I would more lean towards probably seeing a pivot there for Gressel Grindset in the mid lane. Probably going towards something like maybe the Azir or the Talia, some of the picks that we've seen him take in the past.
Yep. All right, we're going to throw it to a break until we get into Champ Selected Game 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I could tell you, ain't the type to backpedal. Give me truth, that's only how my mind settle. I could see you, ain't someone who stay level. But just for me, I'm hoping you could be a vessel. I could tell you, ain't the type to backpedal. Give me truth, that's only how my mind settle. I could see you, ain't someone who stay level. But just for me, I'm hoping you could be a vessel. 1-4 since we last spoke. I got so much hatred for you, but I let it go. As a kid, I was waiting for the day you show, but that absence was everything that helped me grow. And I know it hit the others in the same way. Your daughter leaning to the alcohol to get away. My brother smoking on a pack leading to the grave. My mother always on her feet, know she by the cave. But I still try to understand your perspective. Never wanted us, broken trust, swap the objective. I just hate that you can never face it, get introspective. Never take it fall every single time you protective. Like, is the topic that we talking subjective? I don't even sense regret while we getting reflective. I know the marriage defective, but it was us who affected. All I want is the truth, but you still getting deflective. I could tell you, ain't the type to backpedal. Give me truth, that's only how my mind settle. I could see you, ain't someone who stay level. But just for me, I'm hoping you could be a vessel. I could tell you, ain't the type to backpedal. Give me truth, that's only how my mind settle. I could see you, ain't someone who stay level. But just for me, I'm hoping you could be a vessel. They said I'm bipolar, just like you, motherfucker, so we been closer. Let's get talking, motherfucker, I ain't scared of the mess. They help me talk from my chest, and every day that I vent, I see I'm nearing my best. Because I've been knocking down these demons, time to celebrate. I've been speaking all the shit you thought I'd never say. And I'm staying on a path you couldn't demonstrate. And when I get my own kid, you know I'ma set it straight. Ayy, set it straight, let's get out that yellow tape. Got this murder of a cycle opposite of Heaven's Gate. Yeah, set it straight, yeah, let's set it straight. Even when you running late, got faith that we can set it straight. Figure this shit out and find out who the fuck I am. Feel like every second invested is just another scam. Put my heart into this pen and I pray that you understand. I'm seeking out the past to find a reason why I stand. I could tell you, ain't the type to backpedal. Give me truth, that's only how my mind settle. I could see you, ain't someone who stay level. But just for me, I'm hoping you could be a vessel. I could tell you, ain't the type to backpedal. Give me truth, that's only how my mind settle. I could see you, ain't someone who stay level. But just for me, I'm hoping you could be a vessel.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now.
Shadows fall over my heart. I black out the moon. I wait for you to come around. You got me dancing in the dark. I've closed my eyes, but I won't sleep tonight. Baby, you should come with me. I'll take you to the dark side. Me and you and me, do bad things in the nighttime. Baby, you should come with me, and we can kill the lights, hit the lights, let it black out, hit the lights, let it black out, oh. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, black out, black everything, black. state of mind. Children of the night, but it's the only way of life. It's black holes pulling me inside of this black heart, the black soul underneath this black sky. Baby, you should come with me. I'll take you to the dark side. Me and you and me, do bad things in the nighttime. Baby, you should come with me, and we can kill a light, hit the light, let it black out, hit the light, let it black out. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, blacked out, black everything, black everything, all black, everything, all black, everything, all black, everything, black. Baby, you should come with me. Me and you and me. Baby, you should come with me, and we can kill the lights, hit the lights, let it black out, hit the lights, let it black out. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, blacked out, black everything, black everything, all black, everything, all black, everything, all black, everything, black.
My grandpa fought in World War II. He was such a noble dude. I can't even finish school. Missed my mom and left too soon. His dad was a fireman who fought fire so violent. I think I bored my therapist while playing him my violin. Oh my god, that's so insane. Oh my god, that's such a shame. Next to them, my shit don't feel so grand.
Right, we're back into draft game 2. UTD is on red and Fisher is on blue. And as we expect, Kaisa and Syndra are banned.
Yep, along with the Renekton ban, I think we have seen this out of UTD at least 2 games. Maybe we saw it all 3. Fisher opting to actually take that Silas away, where we were talking earlier about maybe UTD opting out of it. And we see another Lucian ban for Fisher.
Yep, Seraphine ban also coming out from UTD. Not sure if that's target or if they just don't like Seraphine, but
yeah, I think they have subbed in Relic here for the side of Fisher, who has a lot of games on Seraphine, and I think that's where the ban was targeted. Although we are going to see the Varus pick come out.
And hovering Aphelios, definitely able to play it, but I'm going to hover Karma first instead. She had a pretty significant impact in that game too. Lots of roots and lots of shields, where the Soraka in game 2 actually looked comparatively a lot weaker as she just kept on getting blown up by the Syndra.
Yeah, Aphelios being one of those really strong picks that we have seen from Deathly before. As Fisher opts not to ban it this game, maybe we see UTD pick it up. I think they decide to pick Karma here because they don't have any worry of Fisher picking Aphelios, as the Varus is already in for them, and they'll probably, if they still want it after that hover, pick it up in the 3rd pick.
Yep, and Orden coming out here. Hukuri, or not Hukuri, Yoshiwi definitely played a pretty solid Orden in the game 1. Definitely pretty instrumental into getting them that win with the dive comp, and we're going to see it again.
Yeah, it seems like UTD is maybe returning to a more scaling style that they used in game one, and being the more successful of their two drafts seems like the better option for them, at least for this series.
Yep. And Lulu getting picked up. Lulu is a really annoying champ. She has a lot of appeal for AD carries. So it's definitely going to be pretty good if if UTD do decide to draft a lot more Engage. And Aphelios going to get hovered.
Yep, we see both teams rounding out their bot lanes in the first phase of the draft. Very high importance placed on this lane for both teams throughout the series. Interestingly, that we do see the Sejuani for Fisher. It seems like even though it was not successful in the last lane game, along with the Sylas, they still see those picks as problematic and want to take them both away.
Yeah, Sejuani definitely had a lot of value in both the games, locking down important carries. So I can see why Fisher would want that instead. Going to be interesting to see what picks we have here to maybe play against that Sejuani Engage, maybe something peely for the Aphelios. They already have a Karma, which is like a lot of peel, and Ornn actually has a pretty decent amount of peel too. So we're going to see if they lean into that protect the president comp, or if they try to get some more Engage to complement either of Ornn's play styles.
Yeah, one pick that we are seeing slip away here so far is that Hecarim pick. We did identify that as one of the strongest picks in the meta right now, one with a lot of high priority on it. Did not see too much out of it game one. There was some good engages and ganks early game from it. Should be still a strong pick if neither team opts to ban it out here.
Yeah, and it's definitely an option for both teams still, as Fisher could flex the Sejuani to top lane. So we'll just have to see if UTD does opt into the Hecarim, or if they let Fisher potentially flex the Sejuani top.
Yeah, and it does pair well with both of their comps. Hecarim really likes enchanters. Both teams opting for an enchanter in the bot lane. Both the Karma and the Lulu would complement that Hecarim really well. And as we see the last ban come in here, it is going to be taken away because UTD does have the first pick of the second phase, and it could potentially be very strong for them.
Yeah, so we're looking at jungle and top potentially for both teams. Kindred, I called it out earlier as one of the Barrel's picks. I've seen him play Kindred a decent amount of times, and Kindred's pretty good in the meta. They're actually going to lock that in.
Yeah, so we're likely going to see a role swap from UTD here. This is something that they have liked to do in the past, where they swap Yujong Hukuri Lee in the jungle with a Babarrel in the support, usually opting for more of the supportive picks and enchanters for Yujong Hukuri Lee when he does switch to support, and Babarrel being more of a Kindred player, would be likely that we do see him on that pick.
And a Kha'Zix getting picked up for Fisher. I don't think Kha'Zix is really strong, but he definitely does have his places. And against the Kindred, he can definitely do something, but the Kindred Lamb's Respite is really good at keeping people alive, which Kha'Zix does not like to do. Kha'Zix is trying to kill them, so having that ultimate is really a shutdown for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the Kha'Zix pick here. It is into the Kindred. It might be specifically for that matchup early game, but once Kindred hits level 6, as you said, that Lamb's Respite is going to be able to protect Kindred from getting immediately blown up, as well as her other teammates. And they do have the Karma as well, and the Ornn, which would be really difficult for Kha'Zix to play around, so we'll have to see if he is able to be successful on this pick.
And you mentioned it earlier, Talia getting picked up for Grussel Grindset. And it does fit well into this. Talia does like to roam with the ultimate. Talia likes to, is very capable of moving around with her jungler, and definitely is a pretty competent skirmisher. So I'm very interested in looking to see what UTD's mid jungle does in those early levels to get Kindred's marks.
Yeah, it is going to be a very jungle-focused game, actually, as opposed to bot lane, as we have seen in the past and or throughout the earlier games in this series. Kha'Zix and Kindred both being champions that you hate to play if you're behind. They just feel so bad if Kindred can't get her marks, if Kha'Zix can't pick up his first couple of items. It is going to be really difficult to play these champions effectively.
And I have not seen a Kha'Zix in a really long time, so this is a pick where you're really going to be like live or die by it. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can pull it off or if it kind of falls.
Yeah, and the Kindred as well. I mean, we have seen a bit of it in the World Championship, Pyosik being one to favor that character. But he can, or Kindred can just as easily as Kha'Zix just be completely stopped in her tracks and really struggle to provide much to her team if she isn't able to get access to a lot of the jungle and pick up the marks as they are placed into the enemy jungle.
Yeah. So it's going to be a really interesting shift of dynamics as we've been super focused on bot lane. We're probably going to be more focused on the mid jungle dynamics and really pushing for these jungles to invade each other. So we saw that really interesting pathing from the Graves last game where he invaded the UTD's blue side right after his red. So I'm interested to see if we're going to see something similar where either one of the junglers invade or maybe even a split map.
Yeah, and that will place so much importance on the lane state for this game. Whichever jungler has the lanes with more priority is going to be unlocked more to do more in the enemy jungle, as they will have the more ease for their teammates to come and help them if they have their opponents shoved under the turret.
All right, and while we get through Spec Delay, we're going to throw it back to a break, so I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes.
I'm gonna start a bonfire. All the words you wanna hear, I said them in your ear. Better believe me, everything I meant was clear when I gave it all up for you. Didn't think it would ever fall through. I will never forget how you tore it apart. Disappeared, then you left me in the dark. So I'm gonna start a bonfire tonight. It's the death of you and I. Light up everything that's yours. Say goodbye. Too late for hurting. Everybody is gonna watch it burn, and you'll see the smoke in the sky. I'm gonna start a bonfire. I'm gonna start a bonfire. I'm gonna start a bonfire. Won't forget how you tore it apart. Disappeared and you left me in the dark. So I'm gonna start a bonfire tonight. It's the death of you and I. Light up everything that's yours. Say goodbye. It's too late for hurting. Everybody is gonna watch it burn, and you'll see the smoke in the sky. So I'm gonna start a bonfire tonight. It's the death of you and I. Light up everything that's yours. Say goodbye. Too late for hurting. Everybody is gonna watch it burn, and you'll see the smoke in the sky. I'm gonna start a bonfire. I'm gonna start a bonfire.
course, now I feel like you. I said this is my life too. A street full of afternoons. The course of the heart in you is faster than you wanted. The bleeding out of hydras. The best in made of violence. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh yeah. I know it's a list. Circling the message. Yeah. Flowers in a casket. Yeah. Wait for that possession. Of course, now I feel like you. Trade up for a pretty move. Swim deep in the underworld. I'm trying to find out, 'cause I'm over it. Yeah, 'cause I'm over I know it's a list. Circling the message. Yeah. Flowers in a casket. Yeah. Wait for that possession.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Game 3 of the UT Dallas versus Fisher Atteboro NECC Best of 3. Each team is up 1-0, so this one is for all the marbles, and we are going to get interesting picks here with the Kha'Zix and the Kindred. Two things that we didn't really see, as we only saw like tank junglers. I guess we saw a carry jungler on the Graves, but Kha'Zix is quite a different beat than the Graves.
Yeah, and I think this game could possibly be decided very early by these jungle picks. It is very possible that whichever of these junglers gets ahead is able to take over the game, and whichever one gets behind will not be able to do too much on these volatile picks.
Yep, and as we pointed out earlier, Atteboro is on the jungle. He was playing support in the first two games, and Hukri is now support. Atteboro is definitely more of a Kindred player, so it makes sense to, if you're going to pick Kindred, you're going to put your Kindred player on it.
Yeah, and for the side of Fisher, we actually see Ralik come in for AD carry here. I believe he was on mid lane for the first game, and Radar came in for mid the second game, and now Ralik coming in for their other AD carry in this third game.
Yep, quite a bit of little roster moves for this last game, and it kind of made sense. The bot lane of Fisher got pretty stomped in that game too, so gonna switch things up. A little bit of trading. That's it. The Karma gonna lose actually quite a bit of health to the Lulu, but she does have the Comet to be a bit more aggressive. Keep on poking. Same thing with top. Kind of a wet noodle fight with the two tanks. We're not really going to have any kill pressure.
Yeah, and for the jungle pathing, we see Atteboro start red buff and walk straight to blue buff and Gromp. Going for a quick level 3 and maybe looking to gank bot at the end of that, or try to pick up the mark that will be coming up on one of the scuttle crabs, hoping that it is on Atteboro's side.
Kazakhs also did fast level 3 with the Red Raptors Gromp, not actually going to be able to pick up anything on the Ornn. He is just going to charge away. And Kindred's going to go look for a gank mid here, potentially an invade, but just going to back up, hoping and praying that the Scuttle Crab flip is in her favor.
Yeah, but Beryl seemingly looking for something to do before these Scuttle Crabs spawn, and unfortunately for Beryl, the mark is going to be on the Scuttle Crab that he is not on.
Yep.
And we're going to see Kazakhs pick that up, and he's going to have to try again later.
Looks like they're actually going to go for this dive bot. They have quite a sizable minion waves here, but got diminished very quickly, and they're just not going to go for it. Kindred's going to opt to steal the Krugs instead. And Lulu's going to a little bit of contest her, but the barrel is just going to walk right out.
Yeah, and I think UT Dallas here was looking to push in that next wave and dive, but they do get spotted out.
The barrel's actually going to keep going as the Lulu tried to re-engage, and she's just going to have to flash away. Same thing with Ralix. He's going very low on this Varus, but they are not going to be able to pick up anything. Not able to continue the dive as there was no minions.
Yeah, an interesting choice from Fisher here to stay, as a while back while Bibero was still taking the Krugs, they did spot it out, but they opted to stay and end up burning both flashes in the bot lane, and we're most likely going to see Bibero go back to this bot lane after clearing a few camps and try to capitalize on the lack of summoner spells.
Yep, definitely. Kazakh's going to help Sejuani push out this wave and then try to get a reset, I assume. Lots of minions for Ornn to farm. Can't really afford to do anything else here. Looks like both the mid and support for UTD are going to look to invade now, as the Fisher mid lane has gone missing. So they're both going to walk into this jungle on 2 wards, but they're going to get the Raptors.
Yeah, and we see in the first 5 minutes of the game, it is very close. Both teams not being successful in their ganks. One key difference in how UT Dallas is playing out this game is that you see Yujong Hukuri Lee opt to leave Deftly alone and try and help Bibero clear the jungle a little bit faster, while Deftly will be able to easily play back in this lane and farm up and scale for late.
Yeah, definitely not much kill pressure with the Lulu Varus until level 6, and even then it's not that strong. So he's able to freely roam with the Kindred. Looks like, however, the charm is going to land on Grussel Grindset, and he is going to go down to the Kazakh's gank. And Kazakh's getting that first blood. Nice R charm from Radar to just secure that kill. Grussel Grindset is going to flash and kind of waste it as he still goes down.
Yeah, and seeing a bit of a trend here for Grussel Grindset, flashing too late to the point where the flash is expended and he still falls multiple times in this series. It's something that he should be looking to clean up throughout the rest of this game, and either try to decide that he is going to flash before it's too late, or decide to fully save it and allow himself to be taken down.
Yep. Looks like Bibero wants to go for the spot dive, but Ari also walked here. We also have Grussel Grindset roaming from mid. Both mid laners are level 6. The Weaver's Wall comes in now. We saw earlier that the Ari does not have ult anymore, so they're just going to get that dive onto the Lulu and sort of walk away. Sejuani, meanwhile, at 1 HP, getting zoned away from her tower. Not really sure how we ended up in this wave state, but it is what it is. Sejuani looks like she's actually just going to be able to walk out. Not really going to have anything happen. Although Ornn might actually get killed here by the Kazakhs. Going to flash instantly. Kazakhs chase flashes, and Ornn is actually able to pick up that with the knock-up damage.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of a overextension out of Fisher.
This is nice. They're going to catch the Lulu here, and she has no flash from earlier, and she's just going to die again.
And just as I am criticizing Fisher's top side for overextending and giving a kill back to Yoshiwi, they again overextend in the bot lane this time with Atteboro Potato going a little bit too far forward while a lot of UT Dallas's members are still hanging around bot lane.
Yeah. It wasn't even that she walked too far forward. It was just she was walking through the jungle whenever they happened to blast going right over into the camp, which is rather unfortunate timing, but nice for UTD to be fed a camp and a Lulu.
And we're going to see Babero start to solo this dragon here. Ocean Drake going to be pretty nice for UTD in these lanes early on, just giving them a little bit of durability and allow them to heal back up in the lane if they do find themselves a little bit low. And this will help to get them more priority in the lanes and further unlock Babero.
Yep. Meanwhile, Fisher did not just stand idly by. Devil Degri was able to get the Rift Herald back, so a nice cross map from him.
Yeah, and it will be interesting where we see Devil Degri decide to drop this Rift Herald. Likely, you will probably see it get dropped bot lane as we see him there pathing now. This Varus being the pick on their team, aside from the Kha'Zix, who is going to automatically get the gold from being the owner of the Rift Herald. And Varus is this other pick that needs the gold the most over the Ahri or the Sejuani in the solo lanes.
Yeah, definitely. And this Kha'Zix is actually pretty strong. He's already gotten Eclipse at 9-10 minutes. He's really going to be able to push the advantage if he's able to get some more ganks off while he has the completed item on everyone else. But it looks like definitely nearly able to get the solo kill onto Varus there. And Devil Degri is going to get chased out by the Kindred. The dash not exactly there. He's able to get away with the invisibility, but it was very close as Karma and Kindred able to nearly take him out.
Yeah, and we see in the bot lane here as Varus does recall.
Very nice stun from the Sejuani in order to stop the Orin from actually casting R2. Going to save herself a lot of health there.
A little bit of fighting across the map. Definitely was able to clear that wave really fast right after the Varus recalled. Yoshiwi
barely able to survive, and on the other side, a lot of fighting happening. The dive bot, it looks like it might come back again. This Varus just might die again. There's 4 minions, definitely enough for him to just get cleaned up. Even the ult is available, but I don't think it'll be necessary. The damage is just there, and Babero is able to get their first kill in the game.
Yeah, and with the swap coming in on AD carry, we were expecting it to change the flow of the game a little bit as this new player does come in, but we see most of the same with UTD opting to stay around bot a lot and dive the Fisher's AD carry over and over again.
And it looks like the Sejuani might have even got caught out here. Kindred going to flash forward and pick up the kill. Really nice from UTD to play around this bot side. Grussel, meanwhile, getting nearly traded out. Looks like he might go down. He does get killed by the Ahri.
Yeah, solo kill here for the Ahri. I think perhaps the first one that we have seen so far this series, and this Ahri is going to start to build close to a 1k gold lead, more around 800 over Grussel Grindset here, and it might open Ahri up to more roaming potential than Grussel does as he is behind.
Kha'Zix's going to look for a gank here on the bot lane.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, just one shot that Karma. The isolation damage is there, the Eclipse proc, the almost 2-item Kha'Zix just absolutely takes that Karma from about a 4th to nothing, or 3/4 to nothing.
Yeah, and although the comp is a little different for Fisher here, it is a little bit of the same story for UT Dallas, as they are going to have to try to avoid one member of Fisher, and who has the potential to one-shot most of UT Dallas's carries, and could really be a menace to them if they do not position well.
Yeah, but this is really the big disadvantage of Kha'Zix compared to a lot of other assassin junglers like Blue Cane or Zed, for instance, where Kha'Zix can't really do anything if they're grouped, but in situations like this where they're just getting caught out one by one, he is able to do a lot of work.
Yeah, and we see in the middle lane here, Fisher just has more numbers and is able to CC and beat down UT Dallas's bot lane, closing a bit of the lead here and taking down the more important targets from UT Dallas, and that of Deftly and Yujung Hugri.
Yeah, really nice kills from, really nice roam from the Sejuani, able to, even though she's not doing great in the top lane, able to rotate mid, get a nice kill onto the Aphelios, and follow that up with a kill on the Karma.
Yeah, and it's one of those team comps for Fisher here where you are...
Weaver's Wall going to come in here for the Lulu kill, going to get snared up by Karma and just completely destroyed by Barrel. Meanwhile, Kha'Zix was able to take the second Drake of the game, so not completely lost. There was a little bit of trade back, and it looks like it's going to be the Hextech Soul.
Yeah, Hextech Soul here again, going to be really big for both teams, perhaps more so for UT Dallas if they are able to pick them up, as it does give attack speed and ability haste, which are stats that UT Dallas's comp really likes more so than Fisher's comp.
Yep, Aphelios is going to have to cleanse the Verisalt. Lots of threat of getting solo killed here. And it looks like going to come in Wit's End second for Kindred. It's just a general on-hit build. They seem to be very strong right now, so pretty standard coming in from here, even though there's only like one magic damage source. But rather fed since the double kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, and we see 3 Varus games and also 3 different builds here, as the first game we had the crit builds, the second game was an on-hit for Deftly, and this third game we see the lethality build, which will be more poke heavy, allow this AD carry to sit back further and use the long range of the Q to deal a lot of damage from afar.
Yep, definitely what the goal is, but I'm a little bit of a Varus enjoyer, and I've been playing Lethality Varus. It does not seem very good. AP is kind of just a better version of it, so definitely on hit is better AD version. But for a poke build, AP seems a lot better.
Yeah, maybe Ralik here is thinking that it will be difficult for him to get in range to auto attack.
Yeah, very nice stun from the Talia there. Kindred going to be able to flash forwards and get the slow, but the triple dash from Ahri is too much for them to follow up.
Yeah, flash for flash there, and Bibarel most likely would have been able to pick up that kill, but I think the comms for UTD here say that Fisher is starting up that Herald and they need to get over there for the fight.
And that is the second Ornn ultimate from Yoshiwi that gets cancelled by the Sejuani. So really nice play there, but he's still going to have a lot of value, just going to be walking forwards. And the Rift Herald actually got stolen by Karma, but they're just going to get zoned out. They do not have the health to walk up and take this fight.
Yeah, and although it is a little bit sad for UTD not to be able to pick up the Eye of the Herald and get that buff for them to place throughout the map, they're more so happy here with just taking it away from Fisher and not allowing Fisher to use the Herald against them.
Yeah, the gold and definitely just denying them is a decent win here.
So we see both teams opting to reset after that Herald, and we see the gold, individual golds here. A lot of leads for Fisher in the jungle and mid throughout this series, whereas UT Dallas is getting leads in the top and ADC.
Yeah, that seemed to be more of a common trend where mid and jungle seemed to fall behind for UTD, but in return, bot lane was miles ahead, as it is sort of this game. However, top lane is ahead and that wasn't super common in game 2 and 1. I think they're even to losing for UTD. So this is nice for them to actually have a winning top.
And an interesting build here for Deathly. He is opting into the rapid fire cannon second item. I think usually we see more of a Phantom Dancer second item, as it allows him to move around a little bit more in the fights, but obviously this item is for that extra range, and Deathly seems to be thinking that he will not be able to get as close as he normally would on this pick.
Yeah, I don't quite mind that because they do have a lot of reach potential with the Sejuani, with the Ahri, where if you're standing a bit too close, you're just gonna get caught out and CC'd in one shot. And with Kha'Zix and same thing with Varus, where you're just gonna get CC'd in one shot. And Kha'Zix with the jump, if he's out of range, then there's a lot less effectiveness there.
Yeah, and I think it's a similar comp for both teams in terms of range. Any character who is able to get in range in this game will likely be getting in the opposing team's range at the same time, and it would really make it difficult for any player to start something on their own.
Yep, everyone's just going to group up on this dragon. They all wanted to try to contest this Hextech third Drake. Kha'Zix's going to jump in and try to kill the Karma, but the Lambs are fight very good. Nice Aphelios ult. Everyone's going to be taking a lot of damage. Kha'Zix is going to be a nuisance in the top, almost going to take out Taliyah there, but no one's actually dead on UTD thanks to the Kindred ulti. Really high value, denying the Kha'Zix. That's what we talked about earlier a bit. Able to really shut down the Kha'Zix. And it looks like there's not really going to be a chance of steal. Oh, as I say that, he does get the steal. UTD lose the dragon and potentially a fight, but it looks like they're just going to be chasing down Kindred. Super healthy, lots of dashes. They're going to be able to pick up Ahri, barely surviving thanks to Karma, and again does go down. Karma not able to save the Kindred this time, and the enchanters are just so high value in this game.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a story of target selection here in that last fight, as Fisher was only able to get Karma and the Taliyah low, where the Kindred and Aphelios were very healthy and were able to take control of that Dragon Pit. But UT Dallas, a little bit of an underestimation of their opponents there, not taking the time to make sure they are separated from the Dragon, and Devil the Grey capitalizes, jumps right in, and steals it.
Yeah, and Kha'Zix has a very good smite secure with the evolved Q. He just Q a smite for maybe about 9 or 1900 damage. So it is hard to smite against a Kha'Zix, given, so not completely his control. But because of that fight, the 80 carry gold lead has expanded even more. This Aphelios is so far ahead, almost 3.3k ahead, a full item nearly.
Yeah, and you have to be looking at Deathly here in this final game of the series to be a very key player in the game. Aphelios is really strong in these team fights, and if Deathly is able to play it well, then it should be good for UTD.
Yep. They're going to sneak in, try to get a kill. Barrel almost going down. Will he be able to ult? He does not need it, and they're going to pick up Lulu very close to death. Kha'Zix's going to jump in, going to actually pick up a barrel with the evolved W, and their sneak ambush engage with the Ornn is not going to come out with an advantage. Only a 1-for-1 so far. He is going to get rooted down by Aphelios. Lot more damage. He is going to get killed by the Ornn. Very nice pillar from the Ornn, and he's going to keep going, able to get the second kill on the Sejuani. Very nice from UTD there.
Yeah, and an overextension from Fisher here, as the last kill does not get picked up with radar flashing away. As we talked about earlier with the ranges of this team, if one team tries too hard to force onto the other and is not able to get into range, it is really easy for the other team to turn it around. And Fisher here was not able to get quite close enough to get much done in that last fight.
Russell Grindset going to go down, but there is no risk of smite steal. Kha'Zix was not close enough. They are going to just sacrifice your Shiwi to get away with 3 Barons, but they're going to keep chasing. Kindred's going to get, or Aphelios is going to get caught out. Kindred ult coming down. Aphelios is going to have to fight through the Kindred ult, but it looks like it's not going to matter. They're all going to go down here. The Baron is completely taken out, and not what you're looking for UTD.
Yeah, and just as Fisher overextends in one of these fights, we see UT Dallas do the same right back as they go for this Baron, thinking that it's really easy for them to take with no chance of the smite steal from Devil the Grey, but they underestimate the speed at which Fisher can get back on the map on this Hextech Rift, and Fisher is able to chase them down and remove all of the Barons for UT Dallas.
Yep. Very nicely done from Fisher there. Going to even out the gold a bit more and remove all the buffs, but still gold lead for UTD. Definitely not as much if they all survived and got out, but very nice win from Fisher.
Yeah, and we're seeing, even though this Kha'Zix has the lead with the Kindred pick and the Lamb's Respite, it has been difficult for Devil the Grey to accomplish too much in these fights, whereas Kindred from behind is kind of dishing out a little bit of damage, but being more of an ult bot and just allowing his team to have more time. Although we may see Fisher start to come back in this game after acing UT Dallas on the Baron.
Yep, definitely. Both teams are going to start to fight for this 3rd Hextech Soul. This will be the soul point for Fisher and UTD's 2nd Drake. Both teams are going to group up. We have a flank from the Kha'Zix, so watch out there, as he definitely can get an insta-kill right now.
And there it is.
And now UTD is just going to have to kind of run away. They're not really opting to take this 4v5. The Barrel not going to get stunned up, but the Mikhails on the Karma actually used to cleanse him. And they're just going to be chasing UTD around the Baron pit. Another cleanse comes out. Ushiwi going to be taking a lot of decent amount of damage, and Ornhorn is going to come out. They're just going to keep running.
Yeah, and Fisher Atteboro here just completely taking control and utilizing this Kha'Zix pick well with that lead. Devil the Grey making me eat my words earlier, as I said he was not able to be too effective, and he just completely one-shots Grussel Grind set, and Fisher Atteboro takes that pick and runs with it.
Yep, definitely finding a very unexpected angle on the mid laner and taking advantage of it. They could not fight 4v5, but he might be getting into a bit more than Kenchu jumps out and blast comes away. Not going to get caught out by the Ornn there.
Yep, and as both teams start to reset, we see the Bloodthirster coming in for Deathly.
They are going to go on to Varus, but he's going to get away as the Flea is not able to hit the stun with the Weaver's wall jump. And no one's going to die here, but they are going to zone them away from the Baron. Baron is going to spawn in 2 minutes, so there's not really a threat there. But gaining control of this area is still very nice, able to secure some vision for them.
Yeah, and very importantly, we see the TP available for Radar here. So although UT Dallas does see Ahri in the bot lane, they know that they cannot start up anything across the map, as the teleport will come out quite quickly, and Radar may be able to turn things around.
Yeah, and as this game has been going on more, we're seeing the item gaps close between AD carries. Aphelios, who was nearly 3k gold up, now is only a half item up, as he still has a lot of gold up, but he just hasn't spent it yet. So the item disparity right now is actually not that bad for Fisher, so they might be trying to look for a fight before UTD's next reset.
Yeah, and it will be very important for Deathly to spend that gold, as a lot of that lead is in his pockets.
Oh, Devil the Grey almost able to kill Barrel, but he's actually going to get knocked out of the Lambs Respite by Grussel Grindset. Very nice the Talia W to knock him out and one-shot him despite through the Lulu ultimate. Now it looks like they're just going to get caught out one by one here. Definitely is back. He is going to take down the Sejuani, and now they just got a free 2-for-0.
Yeah, and UT Dallas gets the first pick there on Devil de Grey off the back of the Lamb's Arrest bit, allowing Bibarel to survive and not get one shot by the Kazakhs. And it seems like there was a bit of a miscommunication as I Am Isaac dives into the back line alone in that fight while his team backs away.
Yeah, really we're able to see that value of the Kindred ultimate as it keeps him alive long enough for his teammates to help him out and ultimately get that nice shutdown and another kill onto the Sejuani. So really high value of the Kindred showing here. And now they're actually able to poise around Baron. UTD coming out of reset and looking for another play to secure one of these neutral objectives.
Yeah, and although UTD does get those 2 picks in the last fight, there is not too much on the map for them to get. Baron just respawning recently after the 2 who were picked off from Fisher respawn. And so, although it is a positive for UT Dallas, not that much is going to come up from it.
Yeah, everyone going back to base, walking around, getting vision. UTD is really going to look for this contest on the Soul, and very obviously they don't want to give Fisher Hextech Soul for free, so they're going to be poising around here. Now that allows Fisher to even try a Baron trade, as they have most of their players walking up towards the Baron. However, there is a control ward, so a Baron trade will not be a sneak. It'll be very obvious.
Yeah, and one thing interesting to note is that Yujung Hukiri Lee opts to buy this Mikhail's. Obviously, we know that UTD puts a lot of value in Deathly, and this item is going to allow Yujung Hukiri Lee to peel that much more for Deathly, as we see Fisher start up the Baron.
Now UTD knows this because the control ward. Lee is going to be a little bit late, but they're probably going to be able to take it down. Kazakhs able to take the smite. Now, will the fight break out, and how will it end up? Kazakhs and Ari on the side, but they're all grouped up. That was a nice Kazakhs W to put in some damage, but Ari is now alone here. But Barrel going to almost get taken out, but the Lamb's Respite going to come in. Definitely is 1v3, absolutely taking them out. He is an absolute menace in this backline, but they're all so low, and it's definitely versus everyone here in this fight. He has taken out another. He's going to get charmed up and actually go down to the Kazakhs, and it's going to be an ace for Fisher.
Wow, and I was about to say red-white don't fight for Fisher Atteboro, but we see Kazakhs is able to disengage from that fight temporarily and come back in and just clean up those last few kills before Deathly is able to finish off the rest of their team.
Yeah, very well played from Deathly, but not enough. The Kazakhs and the Ari able to get the CC off, able to finish him off before he can nearly 1v5 them.
Yep, and we see off of that, fortunately for Fisher Atteboro, they get the upper hand in a team fight at a much better time and have the Hextech Dragon up to take. We see Devil de Grey solo that, and they get the Hextech Soul. So it is going to be difficult for UTD to be able to finish off this game as Fisher gets this huge permanent buff.
Yeah, and we saw the massive amount of damage coming out from the Kazakhs. So it's really quite a valuable pick here. Grussel Grindset going to absolutely one-shot the Varus, but on the other side, Radar is going to kill Kindred in a very similar manner. Sejuani barely able to survive here, but do they see the Kazakhs walking around their backline ready to jump? They do not. They are going to get caught out going to stun up the Kha'Zix, but the Lulu is there to save him. Now it's just Deathly in the middle of the team fight, not able to survive the all the damage from the Ahri, and they're going to get aced again. Ahri, another triple kill.
Yeah, and while we are talking about Deathly and Devil de Grey as being such important parts of their team, we somehow seem to have missed that Radar is 12-2 on this Ahri pick, and even when UTD tries to finish off Devil de Grey and he temporarily disengages, Radar comes in and absolutely cleans up that fight.
Yeah, very nice from this Ahri. Lots of impact on 2 triple kills in the last 2 team fights. Really playing well with the ultimate, dashing around, being a nuisance, charming the right targets, doing a lot of damage. Really well played from this mid jungle, carrying Fisher right through this last final game.
Yeah, for sure. The story for Fisher Atteboro this series has been their mid jungle. These two have been so important in this series and have gotten the leads game after game as everyone else on the map falls behind, and have been able to make up for mistakes that have come out from their bot lane, typically when UT Dallas has been opting to dive.
Yeah, the Ornn engages are just not working out as well as they'd hope for them. They keep on trying to go on this Varus when I really think they should be focusing on one of the 2 admittedly mobile carries.
Yeah, and mobility actually has played a big part of this game for Fisher Atteboro. They have a lot more mobility than UT Dallas does. The Kindred is able to hop around a little bit, but not a lot of mobility for the rest of the characters, while Kha'Zix does have the resets on his jump, and Ahri does have the 3 dashes from the ult.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be trying to go for another engage. Fisher going to just get the pick onto Karma, and Aphelios going to instantly go down. It looks like another ace. This one's clean 5 for 0, no counterplay for UTD. They get all the flanks, and it is just game.
Yeah, and they absolutely wallop this fight with the huge leads from Devil de Grey and Radar, as well as that Hextech Soul. Fisher doing a lot better of a job of getting those objectives in this game.
We were definitely doubters of the Kha'Zix, but it paid off very well for them.
Yeah,
and that was the series for Fisher, 2-1 against UTD.
Yeah, quite a close series, honestly. Very back and forth, as we had mentioned that UT Dallas does have a history of stomping Fisher Atteboro. Looks like they are able to change the narrative this time around in a slobber knocker of a series. They are able to take down UT Dallas in the last 2 games.
Yep. Really close. All 3 games were really close. They could have gone either way, and then it was really just who played the team fights better in the end. And Fisher took the prize in the last game with a really well executed Kha'Zix and Ahri.
Yeah, and in the battle of Fisher as mid and jungle versus UT Dallas's bot lane, it looks like Fisher's mid jungle is able to come out on top and take this last game, and definitely is not able to take his lead and finish things out for them.
Yep. And that's about it for us. Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching the games, and we'll catch you for other UTD esports games. So make sure you go on our Discord and catch all the other streams that we have.